Yo, what's up, Fort Worth Roots fam? It's your boy G Swav, and you're tuned into the very first Swav Moto update, where the throttle meets the truth and the streets get the scoop. Every Thursday, I'm tapped in with the dopest two-wheel news and DFW streets, from ride-outs to safety tips, gear, game training courses, and more. Let's roll. All right, the ride rundown for this week. This week, the DFW Red Line Riders are back at it. Right, Friday night, City Sweep kicksnares up at 8 p.m. Meet at the Shell off Camp Wisdom. Saturday is Leaders of Dallas. They are hosting a co-ed safe ride for new bikers. Super welcoming vibe. Starts 10 a.m. from Clyde Warren Park. Y'all ride safe, y'all ride deep, and show love when y'all pull up for sure. Swav safety tips for the week. Now listen, this week, Swav safety tip is simple but life-saving, right? Ride your ride. Don't chase nobody's speed. If you don't feel it in your gut, group rides ain't a race, it's a rhythm. Stay in your lane, right? Keep your space and trust your instincts. It's very important that we do that. April 18th, it's the I-35 tragedy, where we had 17 bikes pile up due to a front tire pop on one of the motorcycles. The leader of the group, had that incident. That's why it's very important for y'all to do y'all bike maintenance and make sure that y'all are taking the time to wear your proper PPE, protective equipment, right? Also, take the time to check with your other riders, man. If you notice something, somebody pulled up for a group ride and one of their tires look like it's worn down, it doesn't look like it's going to take much more for it to pop. Or if it's leaking some oil, or if something is faulty, if a light is out, y'all be sure to share and spread that knowledge with the community, because we have to look out for each other. We ride together, we roll together, we take care of each other, man. If one of us goes down, we all go down. So let's make sure that we do that. All right. Two-wheel school, right? So for those just getting started with ride, TC Rider Academy in Fort Worth is still offering the beginner course for $200. It's a good price. Word is they got weekend slots open right now, so sign up, get in there. They teach throttle control, quartering, emergency braking, and all the tools to ride with confidence. So y'all hit them up and tell them G Swav sent you, because I did, that's for sure. Next up is Gear Up, right? With G Swav, this week's gear pick is CDC Starter 2. The helmet, right? Lightweight DOT and ECE certified, slick design with internal sun visor, solid for daily riders and still keeps the Swav steez, you feel me? Available at Cycle Gear in Arlington. Go try it on, see if you like it. If you do, holla at your boy, let me know what you think. It's pretty cool too. Check it out, make sure you look it up. Google that. That is the CDC Strada, STRADA 2, right? Boom, let's get to the moto mindset, right? So look, before I ride, I remind myself, right? Peace isn't just quiet. It's balance on the inside, whether it's on the open road, the stoplights. I use this helmet time to meditate, to breathe deep, and remind myself who I am. I stay mindful, I stay dangerous, and I for sure stay suave, but I really think it's important to iterate that when you're on these bikes, it's important to have a clear head. They can be excited for new riders, so for those who are, fresh new riders and still feel that same intense excitement every time you get on your two wheels, right? Take that inner helmet time, right, for sure, to lock in, dial in, with yourself, with your spirit, get aligned, and become one with the bike. That way, when you're on the road, you can move and shake like you need to, dip and swerve like you need to, and really be in tandem and in sync and with the flow of what's going on around you. It's very important that we do that. Keep your eyes open, keep your eyes peeled, baby, at all times. Man, awareness is key. Safety is key. Maintenance is key. There's a lot of keys on this key ring, that y'all need to make sure that y'all have checked off on the checklist, Take a pause, big shout out to Hoppin, hosting today's Swav Moto update. Usually I be doing this here anyway. The owner's not here right now, but I was already close by the area, so I'm on location. Without further ado, let's continue. Raw reality, right? The I-35 tragedy on April 18th. A devastating multi-bike accident took place on I-35 West, southbound near Heritage Trace. 17 riders were injured, 4 of them critically, after a front tire blowout caused a fiery reaction involving over a dozen motorcycles, man. I want to take the moment of silence for the families and the riders affected by this. Okay, thank you. Briefly before I continue, I do send my heartfelt condolences to those who were a part of the two-wheel community who have transitioned on, from this life, from accidents and incidents, on the bike. I myself have lost family members. Someone hit one of my family members while they were on the bike. Rest in peace, James. Couple nuances in my life where, my father, before he passed away, like moments before, what led to him passing away, he rode the bike to a corner store, got his last ride in. So, shout out to you, Pops, Frank Owens. With that being said, man, it's very important. I think that with our community, we start to practice better judgments. We start practicing better camaraderie, spread more education, really around bike safety, and not only hosting these rides, but making sure that we're reiterating safety on these rides. And if I personally feel like, if you're going to be a part of a ride and you don't have any safety gear on, you don't need to be able to ride with that group that day. I mean, obviously, we're all adults. People going to attempt to do what they want to do, but it's time for us to start becoming more cohesive, sticking together, really putting our foot down and saying the things that we're not going to accept when it comes to being a part of certain groups. Even if they're widespread community groups, they don't have to be motorcycle clubs, but even in motorcycle clubs, which I've been a prospect before, due to other circumstances, I didn't end up joining that club, but during that time I learned and talked to many other bros, about having the proper gear on, doing the maintenance, knowing how to do maintenance yourself. This is the Swav Collective, and today's episode is brought to you by none other than Swav Nation. Swav Nation is one of the dopest music, entertainment, and production companies in Fort Worth, Texas. Make sure that y'all tune in every Thursday at 8 a.m. on the Fort Worth Roots podcast to catch me, G Swav, here to give you the Swav Moto updates. Again, today's episode is sponsored by Swav Nation, and they wanted me to let you know that me, G Swav, him, that guy, this guy, this handsome fellow, he has dropped an album, and it is called Southern Lotus, one of the dopest projects that's been dropped in 2025 before summertime. I will be performing around the city, so y'all make sure that y'all tune in, tap in, and figure out which one is your favorite song, because that's gonna be the one that I do at the next show that you see me at. That's right, baby. So thank you, Swav Nation, for all that you do, and thank you, Hops, for sponsoring. Let's get back to the news update. Being aware of the road, having safety stuff with you, have an emergency kit with you. There's a lot of little nuances that if you are just a beginner rider or a novice rider or a self-learned rider, new to the game, under 5 years, there's a lot of things that you need to know, need to become accustomed to, need to start making sure that you establish that there's this daily routine when you're riding these bikes. All right, without being a bit more long-winded, too long-winded, right? Among those injured was our brother Jeremy Suddy from this I-35 incident, right? He suffered the most severe injuries in the crash. Jeremy was initially in the ICU at JPS, but he has since been moved to Texas Rehabilitational here in Fort Worth. Keep him lifted up in y'all prayers. His fight is not over, and his strength is unmatched, man. He is definitely fighting every day, working hard to get back to how he used to be. He won't be how he used to be, but here's hopes and prayers, man, that he will be better. He may be different now, right? But he will be better. With that said, shout outs, some solidarity. I want to send big love, a big love filled salute to everyone who pulled up to the Smokes and Spokes Pocket Full of Change Fundraiser bike rally, right? Y'all showed up, y'all showed out, and y'all showed unity and healing, from the city, and I really appreciate it. Special shouts out to Nolan Ryan Law Firm for backing and sponsoring the event. Definitely big shout out to DFW Redline Riders, for staying 10 toes down, pulling up. Y'all were in the building. Thank you for the donations. Big shout out to Tony Soul Food as well, who hosted the event. Lovely venue, good food, and we will be returning back to her location to host another event, so y'all stay tuned to the socials. Yeah, man. So with that being said, every single supporter, rider, vendor, and donor who showed up, what they showed up and showed what the community can really do, show what community really looks like, and I greatly appreciate it. The DFW Redline Riders appreciate it. And that's for sure. If you want to support, Jeremy and the other riders who were involved in the I-35 incident, you can go to GoFundMe. If you couldn't make it but you still want to contribute, you can donate directly to the fundraiser supporting Jeremy and the other injured riders through our GoFundMe page, right? You can find that by going to GoFundMe and just simply researching Pocket Full of Change Swav Nation on GoFundMe, right? I'll have that link at the bottom so you can see that in the captions as well. Also, you can catch me, right? Before I ride out, don't forget, every Sunday at 11 a.m., I'm live with Victor Solders. He's my cousin, right? My kinfolk. He is also, I think his page is called Beginner Bike Life on TikTok. But we go live on his page, FHP and Accessories, right? On TikTok every Sunday at 11 a.m. Y'all make sure y'all tune in for that. We basically talk about, rider safety, our different experiences, why it's important to be safe, different situations we've been in that made us better riders, just giving the rider wisdom that we have from our years of riding to you, to help you become a better rider, or give you some new things to think about and perhaps put on your mind. So big shout out to you, Vic. See you Sunday, bro. With that being said, man, this was your Swav Moto update. Hug your people, check your tires, ride with love and not just speed. You feel me? Always move with purpose. I am G Swav, signing off. Peace, power, and a whole lot of throttle therapy. Never hurt nobody, baby. Without further ado, that's this week's Swav Moto update. Y'all can catch me right here every Thursday at the Fort Worth Roots podcast, 8 a.m. If you ever pull up to hopping, make sure that you say this is the spot where you saw G Swav, and you might get a little something. I don't know, maybe for your drink, maybe a cup of ice. I don't know, maybe a bottle of water or something. I don't know, man. They might do something for you, You never know. Closed mouths don't get fed, baby. You dig? With that, man, y'all enjoy y'all Thursday. That's the Swav moto update for the week. And I look forward to seeing y'all again, man. Big thanks, major love. And yeah, we are the Swav Collective. Bye. Okay. And it's early in the morning, so the morning dew got these seats wet, so now my booty is a little moist. Sounds a little gross, don't it? Yeah. It feels a little grosser.